Hi Libra, welcome back for your October reading. Happy birthday to those of you who are October babies. Okay, if you're wanting to make a booking, you can go through to the website. The link is directly below. I have had to use the computer and my other device to make the videos. I have been told that the computer doesn't give the best picture, but I had a power outage due to work in the area which has actually delayed the recording. So look away from the camera and have a listen if the picture is delayed, etc. That's the way it goes. I don't really have much choice. I do have a new camera coming which will provide a better looking video. Okay. Now I've purchased some Abraham Hicks cards for the reading from the point of view that anywhere you have blocks connected to the way you're manifesting things and the way you're viewing the world, it's a way in which you can actually work with them to remove the blocks and get forward motion in life. Also, if you are wanting an item from the shop is now open. I do have Christmas stock coming as well. There are twin flame connected candles that are on the website. The oils are all natural, 100%. There are no preservatives in the candles either. And those products for the twin flame have oils connected to balancing of the masculine and the feminine, and the meditation of it when you're feeling called upon. The candles can be used for that, to actually assist in tuning and balancing. And if you're needing to have the grounding between the two, they can actually work quite well to balance that. Bit of research done for it with the frankincense and myrrh, etc. So that is what's been used in them. Okay, what am I feeling for you guys in the month of October? Okay, obviously a celebration, but your mind is elsewhere. Your mind is on a separate celebration. There feels as though you want to do something differently. So you still are nevertheless wanting to celebrate, but you also want to do it differently. You're not fussed over it, so to speak. That's what I'm being shown. There does feel like a separate event that you're more interested in, although you will have it. Connections with people as well are on your mind, but you're also trying to keep the balance connected to work, connected to family. You have been in two minds over the last few weeks connected to employment and what way to go and how you're going to go about doing things. You are going with the flow, but you're also used to knowing what's coming and what's happening. You have let go aspects of that where you're okay with going with the flow. You're also very familiar with the situation you've been dealing with, and you're trying to deal with it from a different avenue. You're also trying new things to get different outcomes, and you are being very open-minded. I do feel you have choices to make as well in the month of October, so it does feel like a very busy month for you. You are trying to keep the balance between many areas. You're also trying to keep your health at that important kind of, what would the word be? You're trying to be mindful of your health at the same time as handling all the balls in the air. I see a bit like a circus act. You're trying to juggle many tasks. Okay, what are the cards? Okay, you're thinking of something, but, and as I said, I'm very sorry for the camera. It's the lighting, I believe. Okay, so your mindset of the way you are perceiving something is one story. It's one version of it. I believe there's only a thought I keep thinking. So you're trying to work out in your mind's eye, and for some of you, you may be very psychic and very in tune. Bit of dust. I'm thinking as though you're really trying to work on how you're visually seeing things, how you're sensing things. Your internal is telling you something and your third eye is telling you something. It feels that it's off, but it's not off. It's asking you to pause and reflect a bit longer, because the clarity is going to come to you not only from the universe and your third eye, but also internally it's going to speak to you. So you need to give it a little bit of time to pull the pieces of the puzzle together so that you can see the bigger thing as a whole. You're very grounded in the month of October. I do feel your energy to be quiet. Even though a lot is going on around you, you're very much processing and you're looking at things as a whole. You do have a bubble around you, so there is an energy of protection around you. You're also cleansing out old belief systems that you've outgrown. So although the road has not gone the way you thought it would, and it's not you had an expectation that your road from the beginning of the year to October was going to be perfect and smooth sailing, you have surprised yourself, but you've also done a lot of learning and a lot of healing. For, I would say, the last 4 months, for many Librans, it's been very emotional, very emotional, but not in a bad way. It doesn't have to be in a bad way. It can be very detoxifying in a sense of, you know, anything you're directly reflecting on, you're actually releasing and purging. So that aspect of things is very healthy as well. Okay, your mindset directly connected to this, which is asking you to actually view. It's also saying that by default I could have attracted unwanted relationships. So you're processing over all the relationships you have in your life, and you're wondering how you attracted them. Was it something you did? Is there something maybe that you did? Okay, the card says, many of the relationships or experiences you have attracted, you would not have deliberately attracted if you had been doing it on purpose, but much of your attraction is not done by deliberate intention, but rather by default. It is important to understand that you get what you think about whether you want it or not, and chronic thoughts about unwanted things invite or ask for matching experiences. The laws of attraction make it so. So the whole ideal connected to the Abraham Hicks, you know, and the cards as such, is you coming into that understanding of the power of manifestation. So keep the work up connected to, you know, anything that crops up to me personally, the way I see things, is that, yes, we can manifest outside of ourselves, which is the whole reason I got the cards. Because so many people do not grasp the concept that an aspect of your shadow self can fall out of you and into another scenario, which I've said in a previous video. So you can, if you have blocks connected to scenarios in your life, what can then happen is they can trigger and recreate in separate situations. So whereby you visually giving that energy and giving it attention of a fear-based scenario, even if you're telling yourself you've outgrown that aspect, no, that's not so, and it doesn't have to co-create in different situations. If something displays itself and triggers that point in you, the aspect that actually needs healing is the trigger point. The trigger point of the dark fear inside yourself, because you can have the peace. So you have the dark energy inside you of the fear-based situation, and you also have the white dove. So it's very hard when you're doing that whole energy work to work between keeping positive at all times because we are human after all. But these blocks that are going to come up are there for a given reason for you to positively purge. If you're getting into a new situation, deal with the energy differently, occupy yourself, ground yourself, and the situation will resolve. Okay, coming into October, emotionally speaking, I feel you to be very grounded. And although there's going to be harmonious events, things are going to flow a lot better. So emotionally speaking, you physically are going to be, I'm trying to get the angle correct, you're going to be in a better place, okay? You're going to feel like things are coming full circle and you're just going to live in the moment. It's going to feel very, very stable. Okay, your third eye, including what you're visually seeing around you of the changes, you're going to have the truth. So you will see the truth through the clouds and you're going to understand that there has been some changes happening. And I think day by day you have seen this and it has been a work in progress. It's going to continue to change and you're going to continue to see the change in everything, including yourself. Okay, you have this card in reverse, so this is what you need to work on. You being able to manifest your truth of your new reality within 15 minutes. So even if you're just applying, so the advice for you is take a break, you're being too busy, try and picture the biggest, best picture of how you want things to look. And even if it's 5-10 minutes and then take it up to 15 and just picture the most beautiful scenario and then let it go and then get on with your day. And this is interesting because this is the second time in a different reading this has come up. Okay, something connected to, and this is for some of you who directly relate with twin flame, the way you feel inside is what you project out. And in a twin flame scenario, what you find is you tend to mirror each other. Your twin and yourself at the same time simultaneously are coming to a place where you're energetically looking after yourselves. Now, it may be that your vibration both has changed, where you're more respectful and understanding to each other, where you're more flexible, and the way you see things is very differently. Therefore, the events and the scenarios connected inside the connection are different. For those of you who don't directly relate to that, it's almost the laws of attraction and you coming to a balanced, peaceful, whole place where things are flowing a lot better. But again, directly connected for twin flames is the swan. So it can be that you are having more contact with your masculine or feminine, however this directly relates. For those of you who don't directly connect to that, it's internally you're finding a great deal of peace. It isn't just about the assets. It isn't just about the gifts. It's the people around you during the time that are really making you feel whole as a person, but it's you personally feeling whole. Something quite exciting is going to happen for you. Okay, you have this card in reverse. I'm going to try not too long because I'm going to be recording till 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm good at that. Okay, it's saying you're not being grateful for all you are blessed with. The energy I'm feeling connected to the card isn't that you're not being grateful. I don't feel you've had time to do that. So I will pull a clarity on that because I'm feeling as though you are a very grounded person. You are feeling more emotionally balanced and seeing the changes and knowing about your shadow self and the things that you can co-create into manifestation of you having the most positive outcome or the most negative outcome. But it feels as though with all the juggling that you've been doing up until this point that You haven't had time to be grateful. It's not that you're not, and maybe you do need to show it a little bit more. Maybe on the 3D people are thinking you're not. But I'm feeling as though it's more directly connected to time and not having the time. Okay, connected to your freedom, you always have a choice. So if you're not being grateful connected to because you don't have the time, it is a choice. So you need to take responsibility for that. You need to accept that you've chosen that way of life and that it's an aspect of the way you're living currently. You can choose to walk away from situations. And I feel this could be connected to employment being a burden. Okay. The universe wants you to know that you are provided for. But this card's in reverse. So, again, I feel it's a mindset. It might be that you're working very hard because you have no one to have your back. And, again, this is all about, the two cards that have come up reversed, is all about you manifesting the correct things, believing and perceiving things in a certain way. They're your blocks. So this is possible, but you've got it in reverse because of your mindset. You need to change that up. You are very independent, but it can be to your detriment at times. You do need to look after your health. You are coming to a place where you're more stable in October. Emotionally speaking with the cards, the thing that pops out to me the most is great healing. And through having fun, you're going to be able to get all these energies back where you're going to feel a lot more grounded. Okay, couples. Now, the strange thing was, in your reading, for some reason, I felt the need to go back to the old deck. And I don't know why, but I'm going to follow my intuition. I felt there needed to be additional, more in-depth messages. And these are my trusty cards. Okay, couples. I feel you have been waiting patiently for transitions and changes. You're still open-minded to the point you feel everything is humanly possible. At times, I feel you to be getting very tired, but you're moving ahead without complete clarity. When you're not having the clarity, I feel as though you're keeping yourself busy. You also, in some shape or form, are starting to own your power more so, connected to different ways of doing things. So it's more connected to you assessing the scenario where you aren't walking on anyone's toes. You're not passing full judgment connected to how things are flowing within the relationship. You have very much gone with the flow. But it does feel your energy is changing. And I do feel some conversations you do not wish to open. You feel it is another's domain to actually open that department for conversation. On another note, for many, and this is all the zodiac signs, home is actually directly linked. When I meditated on the zodiac signs, what I found was house-related subjects are going to come up in the month of October. And this can be directly connected to moving house, people moving in, people moving out, renovation. So it feels changes connected to home and abode. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. an energy of you. Okay. I'm going to read it and sum it up because there's an interesting card that fell out, which I think is quite, not in a bad way. I haven't looked at it all yet. Okay, your partner physically connected to the first week of October is not letting go. So I don't feel this, I'll sum it up in a minute, but the direct energy I'm feeling is, it's not a nasty energy, it more feels they're holding on to you. There has been a complete cycle of change connected within the relationship. So your partner's not letting go. I do feel them to be grounded. It doesn't feel like a nasty, ill energy. It more feels like a whole energy of how they directly feel about you. So they're not letting go. Okay, you physically feel your wishes aren't coming true. They actually haven't released you, so they are still deeply connected to you. But what you haven't let go of is the fact that both of you are doing the same thing. Something connected to the past is what blocks you, is what you both need to release so you can physically move forward, because you've already done the change. Everything already has changed. So it is new, but you're both not looking at it initially from that point of view. But it's not saying that there's fights or there's ill situations going on. For me personally, the way I'm looking at it, I'm feeling as though it's more on a mental mind note of processing and assessing and vibrationally feeling it. Okay, your partner isn't verbalizing certain things, and that's the aspect that's frustrating the Librans at the moment, is that the partner you're feeling needs to verbalize certain situations. Okay, the clarity isn't there, and that is another reason why neither one or the other have communicated how they feel. So any pauses are there on purpose for both you and your partner, and for some of you this could be directly linked to the partnership being quite new. For others of you it can be, changes that have happened within the relationship and healing happening within the relationship, where some aspect of communication and understanding and coming to that kind of place where both of you are on the same page. You both are on the same page. Don't feel as though you're not. It more feels it's a process and you're going to need to be. And I don't feel it's a long process. I feel you're very near to that completion cycle of it because you've got the world. Okay, your partner. Your partner does see the most happy outcome connected to how things are going to be within it. So it's not they don't see the possibilities of the brand new beginning and things being very beautiful and positive. It's more directly connected to still just going with the flow and thinking it's all too good to be true. So your partner knows you're worth it. It's an aspect of them that is still catching up. So although you've been doing some healing and working and juggling, they also have been doing those things, which is directly impacting the communication aspect within the relationship. Okay, your partner's not completely, healed. They're still working on that. They haven't had that full awakening of going, wow, I've changed or I've healed. They're still working on those aspects. It's not that far off, but much of it is still yet to come. So they haven't changed their perspective on their opinion of you. Their opinion of you has always been that of good. Although maybe on a verbal level it hasn't completely been there where that's been communicated, the energy I'm feeling connected to this card is that aspect has never changed. Healing has needed to happen. Aspects did happen in the past, but it's not really about that. It's about them physically catching up in order for them to feel vibrationally safe. And then from there, communication and forward movement is going to happen. So the funny thing is, what's going on within your relationship is both of you are healing, but the way you directly deal with the communication within the relationship is completely separate. But the Libran is actually mirroring that of the partner. So one of you will need to budge, but I think vibrationally you'll know when the correct time is to do this communication. Okay. Librans aren't as proud of themselves within the relationship. They're wanting to give more, but they're also frustrated that they could do so much more, but due to the lack of communication, they're not wanting to until they get the clarification, because they want to know that the investment is the investment. So that's the energy I'm getting. Okay, in Libran's mind, things aren't turning out the way they thought. It has made them emotional, but it's not to say that they're not content with the way it is. I'll pull some clarifiers on that. But there is, okay, you're not seeing the positive in the situation, Libra. It's to a benefit that things didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. And I feel in the general part of your reading, it might be that due to the fact that you're overtired, and taking offense to things. And this could be your birthday party. It could be you thinking it hasn't turned out the way you thought. But I don't feel it's the relationship as such. Be careful with the quantity of drink. Because you may need something to alleviate some of the aspects of stress. So it can be overindulgence around that time. Uber for the Aussies out there. Catch a cab. Okay, what have we got? Ooh, okay. You're being very assertive, connected to the way you're communicating to your partner. You need to be careful, especially if this is around your birthday and you might be a bit loose-tongued. Keep your vibration neutral. And not neutral, I mean, you're being very assertive, connected to the way you're communicating, and it might be due to a misunderstanding, because some of the cards are actually giving me the impression that lack of communication is an issue, but try not to be too impulsive, connected to the way you're going to communicate, because you're not focused at the time when you're doing it, and they will know that it's due to fatigue, due to could be intoxication. Okay, but there is going to be forgiveness connected to this, and it might be something your partner does that actually triggers you, because it's on your side of the scale, so to speak. Okay, we'll pull 3 romance cards and see what they have for you and what they have for your partner. Okay, your intuition this month is very high as well. Okay, your partner's not feeling that great at the beginning of the month. So it might be that you're taking them super personally because they're just not feeling that flash. They do know that you are their soulmate. But they're not seeing things that should be red lights. They're not seeing not so much, I wouldn't say error of their ways. Little things that you feel are directly important to you, unless you communicate them, they're not going to see them. So they're not going to see the red flags of what you think in your opinion is the red flag. Also, their finance and career is so not great that It can be impacting the way you think things should be. And this could be, I feel it's more impacting their energy and their opinion of themselves, which makes them feel unattractive. But they don't understand that it has never been about the money. Yet the money, for some reason, and other areas might be where they hide behind, directly connected to them feeling unworthy of your time and your attention. This has been a bit longer than I thought. It is your birthday, Libra. But I feel you've got a bee in your bonnet. I don't think it's like something that's going to blow up. I more feel it's a misunderstanding. Okay. Your partner's working on aspects of relationships and the way they see them. And the way they see them is very different to the way you see them. They don't feel worthy of the relationship with you. And it might be due to something they feel they did. But they need to heal that aspect because this card's in reverse. They're not feeling worthy of your love. They also are working on family-related issues. And it can be that they feel blocked directly connected to family. They're going to be, pardon me, they're going to be open-minded, connected to the block, and they are going to work on it. Let's see for you. Okay, you have a change coming in your life, and due to this, you do have a freedom of choice connected to this change and the way you're going to move forward. It'll be something you can't see coming because you've got this card in reverse. Okay. For some of you, this can be... Okay. The energy I'm feeling is there could be a change within the relationship. It could be the way you guys are directly relating, or the choices that you're making connected to your future, I think, are directly linked to this reading. I don't feel it's connected to... I feel it's more connected to a change, an upgrade of the relationship. Okay. Symbols. What's happening for you guys? Now, the in-betweener section I will add later if I have time, but that will be in a separate video. I can hear my cat. She's whinging. Alice. Career's coming up for you guys quite heavily. Left or right? Okay, you guys are using your intuition very heavily, and a lot of what you've had to deal with from the past to now, your intuition and your psychic abilities is really helping you. There has been a lot of blocks connected to where you want to go and how you want to go about your life in the future, and this has really frustrated you, and it's actually affecting your self-esteem connected to this, of the forward motion and the indecision directly connected to what you want to do. You are very fretful connected to an aspect of loss. So this can be a loss. I'm so sorry about the clarity of it. The loss within a relationship. So this is connected to the past. You are concerned that it's the wrong decision, and you're trying to work on aspects of that, of how you visually feel and see that scenario playing out. And it's going to take you a lot of work to actually do the internal to finally make a decision. You're being very patient, but it feels you're being patient to everyone else except yourself. Okay, you are overcoming aspects of making impulsive decisions connected to this individual. But there will be movement by the end of the month. And I do feel for some of you this is directly connected to a person from the past, or a person who is approaching you, and it can be a water sign. I do feel next month feels brighter than this month. It's not to say it's not bright. A lot of processing internally and mentally for you is going on in the month of October. And I do feel you're going to make a judgment call connected to what you need to deal with and how you need to bring the balance back. Okay. You're trying to bring everything in your life into balance. The whole situation has made you feel very vulnerable, but you've tried to do that so you don't hurt anyone. You're also very independent, and you're going to make the decision up on your own connected to what way to go. Also, in your work life, you are self-made, and you work very hard to be who you need to be to make a buck, basically. But you are going to have some creative ideas connected to how to proceed forward, connected to this individual. You're feeling if you don't, there will be an aspect of loss, and you're going to follow your intuition connected to how to proceed forward. So you're really going to meditate on that so that you're making the correct decision. I'll pull 3 romance cards. Okay, it will be very soon that you do make a decision as to how to proceed forward. Okay. Very soon. It is someone from the past, because you don't need to get to know them. You already feel you do. And you're not expressing it just yet, but it is very soon. Okay, I'll pull 3 more cards, even though it's going to be a big upload. Happy birthday, guys. Okay. Focus on what you want to create. Don't focus on what you have no intention of. Otherwise, don't waste your time connected to what you feel you're not directly connected to. Your thought is attracting these vibrations, and be cautious as to the signals you're sending out, because there might be miscommunication. Okay, by you mixing it up, you're going to get a different outcome. So mix it up, have a look at it from a different perspective, and you're going to find you're going to get the best outcome. So if you're wanting a booking, you can go to the link. I will see you guys soon. Bye.